Welcome YouTube. Here's another installment of How to Play Warhammer. This next video will cover your heroes or lord choices for your game and for your army. Okay, in a typical 2,000 point game, you can have one lord, and if you take a lord, you can have 3 other characters. Or if you take no lord, you can take 4 characters. There are some exceptions to this rule. One that comes to mind right offhand is the Bretonnians. The Bretonnian army, they have to take a battle standard bearer. So this right here would allow the Bretonnians to actually have 5 characters at 2,000 points, while other armies only have 4. Okay, one thing to also note that sometimes when a character, whether it's a fighty character or a magic user character, takes a mount, such as a dragon, that can also take up a slot or character choice. For example, if I take a high elf lord mounted on a dragon, that takes up 1 lord choice, which is all you get at 2,000 points, plus 1 hero choice. So that would leave me 2 hero choices for the game. You do not have to use up all your hero choices. A lot of times I'll only field 3 hero choices in a 2,000 point game, depending on the army, because sometimes, depending on your army of course, heroes are expensive. Skaven, human armies such as Bretonnians and the Empire, the goblins, orcs, their heroes tend to be fairly inexpensive. You get into your elf characters, your chaos characters, your ogre characters, your vampire and your demon characters, they can be a little more expensive. So it just really depends on your, really just depends on what army you play. Alright, most armies have a choice of a fighty character like the high elf here painted on the right, or a wizard type character. This Mr. Shiny over here, Mr. Silver. Some armies have other hero / lord choices, like I mentioned, those that can be mounted in a chariot, on a flying creature like a dragon, but those typically are still fighty guys or magic users. Some armies also have assassins, which they don't take up a hero choice for the Dark Elves, but they do for the Skaven, but that'll probably get changed. The Dark Elves also have a Beastmaster, which is a little bit different hero choice. But pretty much every army has a fighty hero lord or a magic user hero lord level choice. Okay, you're probably thinking, well, which is the best? Which one do I take in my army? Well, you know, that's a real tough question because really depends on your style of play. Me personally, I like to take magic users. I like strong magic phase. If you're a chaos player, an ogre player, a vampire, maybe even a lizard player, you know, you can have some really of course a demon player. You can really have some uber fighting characters. So, you know, those are fun to play with too. I like the magic phase, so depending on my army, you know, I'll have like a lord level magic user and maybe 1 or 2 support magic users, and then maybe a fighty character. Alright, your fighty characters, you know, you can kit them out. They have upgrades, armor, shields. You know, they typically get 100 points unless you're a dwarf. I think they get like 125 points for their fighty guys. Your humans tend to be weaker in close combat, as I mentioned earlier. So therefore, they're cheaper point-wise. And also I've noticed that your cheaper characters tend to have some really cool magic items. Like humans, even though their guys aren't really super fighty, they have a real good wide variety of magic items to help supplement their guys. Magic users, your lord levels, most of them start at 3rd level. Spend anywhere from 35 to 50 points to upgrade them to 4th level. But I think the Grey Seer comes at 4th level already, so you just have to look at your army book. Your magic users, your hero levels, they come at level 1, and of course you can upgrade them to level 2. And remember, the level that your magic user is how many spells they will know, with the exception of Tomb Kings that come to mind and ogres. But you can roll their level plus 1 casting dice. So a 4th level magic user could roll 5 dice in the magic phase if he wanted. And just remember, you guys know this, but I'll just bring it up again, that dispelling a spell, you can use any number of dice you want. 1 to your maximum. It's not dependent upon level. Alright. Right here you can see Emmerich on a high elf dragon. Do I mount my character on a dragon? Do I mount him in a chariot? Well, all this really depends on your fighting style. I have a rule of thumb. If I can't afford to lose my character, i.e. he's not a very integral part, then yeah, I'll consider mounting him on something like this. As soon as you mount a character on a dragon or anything else that flies, he's going to get a lot of attention from your opponent because, it's a high priority target. If you put him in a chariot, it's cool because they get usually like a +2 to their armor save, which helps them in their survivability. So here again, do you mount your characters or not? Rule of thumb for me, I would put a fighty character on a dragon. I would never put a magic user character because they just only have 1, maybe 2 attacks, where your fighty character is going to get 3 or 4 or more. And you're spending so many points. If you want to kill stuff, then that's what your dragon's for. A magic user is not going to really help the cause that much. So, oh wow, I'm getting a lot of glare here. But, to each his own. A lot of people, they'll probably change this in 8th edition, but I'm not sure if they will or not. Sorry about that. My battery's just died. But anyways, that local dwarf person, just really annoying because they get so many dispel dice, and then just to take those, just to totally shut down your magic phase. Well, yeah, I know it's a viable tactic, but it really, the dwarves are so good at a lot of things that it just sort of sucks the fun out of it. But anyways, I'm not here to preach about that kind of play. I'm just here to give you some thoughts and insights about characters and whatnot. Alright, one thing to note, characters, a lot of time they'll be fearless and stuff like that. Let's just say this high elf was frenzied. He's not really, but if he had the frenzy rule and the high elf joined a unit of spearmen, here comes a question. Let's see if you know the answer. Would the high elf character give the frenzy ability to the spearmen or not? Think about it for a second or two, and then I'll post an answer. Alright, the answer to the question is no. No, the high elf character or any other character, they do not impart their special rules such as frenzy upon the unit they are with. So he might be frenzied, gaining the extra attack, but the unit he is with would not. Alright, that was a pretty quick and easy overview of the characters. It may or may not have helped you. It's just, there's so many combinations and permutations in your play style, which is best. Some characters like Bretonnians,